Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
A group of Grenfell survivors and relatives have launched a petition urging Theresa May to appoint a panel of advisors to the public inquiry to better represent the experiences of those affected by the fire. One who lost his uncle in the blaze says they feel detached and anxious and fears no one is listening to them. The petition comes a fortnight before the St Paul's Memorial Service, where the Prime Minister is expected to join hundreds of families affected by the tragedy. Here's our senior Home Affairs correspondent, Simon Israel.
Survivors and relatives of the dead are losing confidence. It's 2 weeks before the public inquiry begins laying down procedures, when its chair, the retired judge Sir Martin Morbick, takes stock of the scale confronting him. But families and the bereaved feel they have little ownership of what lies ahead. Karim Musilhi's uncle died in his 23rd floor flat.
We don't want to force people into certain situations, and we don't want to be seen like we're trying to be difficult or cause problems. We want the same thing the public inquiry wants, but we just want to take away some of that power away from the establishment. We don't have confidence in this inquiry, and you want us to have confidence. It's our inquiry.
For it to be seen as their inquiry, the petition is asking the government to appoint a panel made up of those they see as having a real understanding of the issues, not just a technical one. It's aimed at Theresa May. Only the Prime Minister has the power to appoint such a panel.
I hope that the Prime Minister is going to listen and make this reasonable request for us. But, you know, people are still going to participate, but it's not going to have as much credit as it did before. You know, we want to be involved. We want to help. We want the answers. But if we're not going to be listened to from the beginning, then
is there a risk that some of you will simply turn your back on it?
Yeah, there is.
How great a risk is that?
Well, I mean, it is a risk, but we don't want that to happen. This is why we're doing what we're doing. We don't want there to be a large number of us that turn our back on the public inquiry and it's meaningless to us. This is why we feel so strongly and we're so determined, and we've put this petition together to make sure that doesn't happen.
A government spokesperson said today the Prime Minister has given a commitment to consider the inquiry panel after the chair determined what further expertise he required, and this process is ongoing. The petition is likely to be presented to Downing Street next week. Lawyers for the bereaved are then planning to apply further pressure on Theresa May, with just a week or so to go before they all gather at St Paul's to remember, 6 months on, those who died and those who suffered.
We don't want to be at the memorials where Theresa May will most likely be there, and we're all asking sort of the same questions together. You know, I don't think she'll want to be in that situation, and we don't want it to be, so it'll be great if we can get a decision sooner.
But a panel is not the only issue. Lawyers want to question witnesses directly, rather than submitting questions in advance. But underlining the lack of faith is a feeling of isolation. There seems to be a massive sense of detachment, says Karim Musilhi. They just don't get us.